Alright, how's it going? My name's Colm Keegan and I am introducing the following poem called This is Waterford, which I was commissioned to write for Waterford Writers Weekend. And I have to say, it was a great process. I really enjoyed it. I learned so much about the city. I got to meet so many cool people. The project was basically a series of workshops, and interviews with residents of Waterford City. It kind of focuses on the Viking Triangle as the starting point, and Reginald's Tower and the lovely Blah are kind of the middle of the poem, and everything kind of explodes out of that. Yeah, just to say thanks very much to everybody involved, especially Emer who put everything together. There's loads of writers, young writers, older writers, and just like cool people that I met in Waterford too, who I got to interview and chat to for a good long while and find out so much about a city that I really, really love. I've had so many great things happen to me from a creative point of view down in Waterford. Some of the best news I've had in my creative life came to me while I was down there. It's a city that's close to my heart. It feels like my second home sometimes. And I'd just like to say thanks very much for the opportunity to write such a big piece. Six long stanzas, one for each standing tower of the old medieval walls. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Huge thanks to Joe Marr who put in so much work in performing the piece as well. Yeah, so thanks very much and enjoy.
This is Waterford, where Ireland begins. Swing round the roundabout at the station across Rice Bridge where the buses park and get out. Follow the river. Big tidal ride of the shore hemmed in by hills either side. Look at it down by Passage East, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a lake, wide, joyous swell of it with the fir trees, the gluts of green as it sings its way out to sea. Or on down Woodstown way. Land carved up by the Templars, but we're not going that far. We're stopping at the start. We're staying here at the Mall where the flow goes round the linchpin of Reginald's Tower, the old quarter. As if the gods said, here, this is Waterford here. This is the spot where the monks squatted, where the Vikings quashed the Dacia, where Chandler wrote his letters, where MacMurrough gave one whole Aoife away, opened us all up to the ascendancy. Same spot where Havel and Batchick walked before the furnaces went cold. Same street as it's always been, where many a battle was lost. Where the Debenhams workers still picket, in danger of being forgotten but dug in like Cromwell's cannonball into the tower wall. Could be any other city. Cork, Kilkenny or Dublin, but it's not. Stand beside the giant wooden sword by the French church, you feel it. Things begin here, are hewn here, blown, opened, grown. As if in confirmation of that, further along, past where Mar raised the first tricolour over layers of history laid thick as the silt in the river, I saw this. Blah, right? Sitting in the Viking deli window. White, pristine and catching the light as if to say, well, boy, or, well, girl, or, well, whatever the fuck you're having yourself. Swollen with its own birth, too beautiful to touch, proclamation, trapped behind glass, champagne bubble of flour-sprinkled bread, objects that cannot happen anywhere else. All the fronds of my molecules I'm not messing went mad for what's baked into it. Not just warm water, yeast, sugar, but magical elements. The hell of Geneva barracks and the garroted croppies and the yeasty water added to the flour and kneaded for minutes, or 1,000 years. Like puka on the head of a pin. Waterford pressed into it. And the air knocked out of the dough like what was kicked out of us by the redcoats and the fox-hunting magistrates. Layers and layers of pounding down upon our indigeneity before this final round of proof and no spoof, and this yoke was wild and alive. I never took mushrooms before, even though I saw some in the grounds of the courthouse, but this must be what it's like to have the aperture of your eye exploded to take in a whole timeline. The lives of men who left their wives and children for cod in Newfoundland. Men and women who submitted to European wars or went down with the seahorse, and the women left waiting at tenement doors. Armies of starving urchins up and down the quay, all swirling round me. The collapse of the Atlantic fishery. And now the up again, down again waves of this fucking pangolin economy. All this like a cartoon aroma coming from the blah. All this rolled into the dough. You should have fucking seen it though. Sweet offering on an altar tribute to the old life before, not just to the lost ways and the slow bake, but to when we could see each other's smiles, when we could read each other's faces, sweetly cooked ode to the past, locked down and trapped behind glass, begging to be released. Schrodinger's blah, riot of fresh, mostly airspace. Like Waterford itself, no accident, it was made. Cathedral of delicate connections, fragile ageing and suffering in the waiting. I could feel its heat leaving it, shaped into a holy pea. The urge to be opened up, to have something, anything laid upon it, anything to end its isolation. And the brutal shadow of a bin looming close by, where all that is useless goes to die, black hole full of broken, discarded things, the promise of a destiny unfulfilled. Never has so much cried out to be enjoyed in all the sweet history of life beside such an ugly bin full of poisonous stink. Plastic midden of Happy Meal nice strangling detritus of capitalism, oily tentacles of recycled debt, greedy midges, banana skins, poisonous slime, dirty unsolicited invasion of creeping mould. So much that could corrupt you in your golden womb of new. Poisoned wells, sacrificed factories, recession-battered shops, hearts of broken trees, redundancies, smashed crystal glass, the docks like a gutted fish, Coors can like a rattling tabernacle, tinfoil crackled to heroin black. It's all there waiting for the blah, and everywhere if you look. But us Irish never look. Stamped into our bones like bottle tops squashed into the cobblestones, the dead of the famine, crowded to suffocation, 64 dead during the last fortnight like rotten sheep. Cholera epidemics, emigration, shame, the 60-foot wall of a jail collapsing with the Ballybricken boys that went to St. Joseph's Clonmel, or worse, the girls, and what else? All that was taken by force, ignored, forgotten. What happened to you, dearest blah? Don't deny what you are. Don't you realise what you're made of? Look at you, standing in the dawn, puffball beauty of a blah, perfect expression, like breath. Produce of some baker, some grandmother's hands, alive and excited by all that has shaped you. Remember how you were held and made and lay softening in the shade of sunrise, a golden jewel. How long before gravity and time pulls all from you, turning you cold as you confront the black hole of the old? Poor untasted thing. When did you lose sight of what you are? When did you begin your devotion to the bin? You are not your history. You are today, freshly made. Creation, denial of death, wellspring, seed becomes a much needed thing. You will be held again. This is Waterford, the blah said. And I thought of that Raymond Chandler quote about kicking a stained glass window in for what you want. Smashed the glass and abscond. Me and you, blah. Back up towards Rice Bridge, but left and up Summer Hill to the top of the town, beyond Ballybricken, beyond the fecund dedication of the Greenway to where Waterford ends and is no more. But I didn't. I left the blah where it belonged, kept my distance. It sits there still, small sermon, testament to simple genius, one perfect blah that will forever stand the city's decree that we are not trapped. We are more than what came before, more than closed down venues, yawning shops, empty architecture, locked down like museums. We are so much more, red-blooded and breathing and screaming, up the Desha! Blessed and forever untaken.